you're watching this video, you might be asking yourself if you should quit your college sport. Or maybe you clicked on this video because you did quit your college sport. If you're new to the channel, my name is Paul Klingon, and I quit college baseball after my sophomore year for a couple of different reasons. One, I struggled a lot with performance anxiety, but after 10 years of being able to work through some things that I needed to work through and having the hindsight and the perspective, I've now come to realize that there were other contributing factors to why I quit. And I've watched so many videos of people quitting and reading the comments about people wanting to quit. And I've had comments on videos that I've posted about wanting to quit. And while I totally empathize with the struggles and believe those struggles are real because I've gone through them myself, I'm starting to see a pattern of almost pardoning the behavior. And what I mean by that is people playing this victim and then people perpetuating the victim mentality by saying, oh yeah, you're right, you should have quit, it was hard and good for you. Or someone saying, I'm struggling, things are hard, I'm gonna quit. And this video is basically the other side of the coin. And the reason why I'm filming this video is because now with 10 years of hindsight to look back, I've now realized that I regret quitting baseball. And looking back now, the reasons why I quit was limiting beliefs. There's definitely performance anxiety, which if you're working through performance anxiety right now, you should check out this video right here where I talk through the 3 things that I've done to help me manage and work through and improve my performance anxiety so that I can be more confident in high pressure situations. But really what I was going through was just running away from uncomfortable situations and really running away from the work. Some of the limiting beliefs that I had was that I wouldn't be able to get any better and that the player ahead of me that was starting was so much better than me and I just didn't have the gifts, I didn't have the abilities. And what that ultimately was I was playing the victim of, oh, it's not fair, or oh, I have no control and the coach isn't giving me playing time, when in reality, I didn't do the work that I needed to do to be better. I didn't do the work in the gym, I didn't do the work in the batting cages, I didn't do the work necessary to become more proficient and increase my confidence and increase my competency to where the performance anxiety started to improve. And I just didn't deserve that. I think one of the big things is that people want fair and people want, things to be easy, and it's not going to be easy. It's not supposed to be easy. It's not supposed to be fair. And with 10 years to look back, I recognize that my limiting beliefs was that it was supposed to just come easy to me because it came easy to me in high school. I was a very talented athlete, 3-sport athlete. I didn't really have to lift weights. I didn't really have to work hard. I could just show up, and that got me to Division I athletics. And I stuck with this limiting belief that it was all just gonna come to me. And I didn't want to face the facts that I needed to work harder. And it was really my ego preventing me from doing the work necessary to navigate the things that were uncomfortable. And I think that's a really big distinction here. Are you quitting to alleviate an anxiety or alleviate and sedate an uncomfortable feeling that is really the symptom of a root problem? Or are you quitting because it's truly the best thing for you? And I'll give you some examples of this. When I'm drinking or when I'm working with clients on drinking, the question to ask yourself is, am I drinking to sedate anxiety and to relieve stress, or is this amplifying the situation? If you're breaking up with someone, are you breaking up with someone to run away from the problems of not being able to communicate your feelings and emotions, or is it actually the best thing for you? When it comes to eating, are you eating because you're actually hungry, or are you eating to relieve stress and because it's going to help you feel better in the moment? If you're leaving your job, if you're leaving a career and you don't want to do the work necessary to get promoted or to face those hard conversations with your employees, is that why you're leaving, or is it actually the best thing for you? And with myself and in my experience, and in working with hundreds of people, and in seeing all of these different stories on YouTube and on the internet, majority of the time people are running away from the work, running away from the root problem, and only addressing the symptom. But here's the thing, it's going to show up in other areas of your life. I ran away because I had performance anxiety. It showed up in dating, it showed up in work. I didn't do the things necessary to address why I was dealing with performance anxiety, the limiting beliefs, the work ethic necessary, the things that I needed to do to get to the root of the problem. And so you might be quitting, or maybe you did quit, and I'd be curious, if you're watching this video, are the things that you were experiencing there still showing up in other areas of your life? Because how you do one thing is how you do everything. And if quitting your college sport alleviates stress in one area, but it shows up in other areas, then it's essentially ego, thought processes, beliefs, mental models, and stress that you're creating from expectations that is gonna show up in other areas, right? The root of all stress or the root of all suffering comes from the attachment to expectations, the attachment to what your parents expect from you, what your coaches expected of you, what you're supposed to get in playing time, that life's supposed to be fair. And the suffering is the delta between what is reality and what you are expecting. And so as soon as you can start to take ownership and stop playing the victim and saying, oh, it's supposed to be like this, but it's not, this is stressful. Well, it might just be relabeling how you're seeing things and shifting your perspective on how you're seeing things. If you can relieve the stress, anxiety of the expectation that life is supposed to be fair or that I'm supposed to have things given to me, well, now you've shifted your perspective of that in every area. But until you go and address that, that's gonna still continue to show up outside of just college sports or outside of whatever it is that you think quitting is going to solve. And from my experience, the truth is that I miss playing college baseball. I wish I could go back and not make that decision. I miss the locker room. I miss being with the guys. I miss competing. I miss having the opportunity to be around some of the best athletes, the best trainers, the best coaches, and really soak that up. I don't think I took advantage of what I was learning at the time. And now being in the fitness industry and being able to realize the training facility that I had access to, the recovery facility that I had access to, the trainers, how much I wish I would have picked their brain and just been more curious, because that's all stuff that I could have carried with me beyond. I have dreams, I would say once a month, where I'm, about to go and bat, or I can't find my glove and I'm about to go and play. And I think that's really a sign that I really miss it. And I actually had a dream at one point where I was running side by side with the coach, and the coach, for whatever reason, said to me, he's like, that's great that you're fit and that you're, making changes in your life, but when are you gonna lead others? And it really hit me as this feeling of, man, it's something that I feel a calling to help others not make the same mistake that I made. And that's why I created Return of the Athlete, because I know for several years after quitting, I really struggled with my identity, who I was. I fell into what I call the halftime hangover, where I wasn't operating to the level of what I believed I was capable of. And that shows up in the symptoms of not taking care of your health, not taking care of your mental health, and not getting out of life what you feel like you're capable of getting. And this video, like I said, is something that I wish someone would have created 10 years ago, because there's very little benefit from quitting. And if you are watching this video and you're thinking about quitting, it is my recommendation that you do not quit. It is my recommendation that you exhaust every single opportunity, every single resource, every single method to address the root problem of whatever it is that is causing you these limiting beliefs, the performance anxiety, the stress, the depression, whatever that is. Maybe that's giving up drinking. Maybe that's changing your diet. Maybe that's working with a sports psychologist. Maybe that's having an honest conversation with your parents, with your coaches. Maybe that's changing teams. Maybe that's changing schools, maybe not teams, but schools. If you can go and do those things and that changes the situation, maybe it's changing your degree, maybe it's studying more, studying less, whatever it is that you need to do. I think that there's a lot of different things that you can exhaust before just going and quitting. And I understand that there's a spectrum to this. There is going to be situations where it does make sense for someone to quit, and that's the best thing for them to do. But I just really believe that it's swinging too far on the side of the pendulum to just making people the victim and saying, oh, you're dealing with this, so you're right, you should just make it as easy for yourself as possible. I do believe in things being hard, and I do believe in stress, and I do believe that everything that you're going through and everything that I went through is real, but I also believe that it's your duty, and it's my duty to do everything that I can to manage that, improve, and work and grow beyond it, and really take ownership of your life and of my life. And if that's still something that shows up as a trait, as something that I just have chemically or that I was born with, I want to still move forward in ways that I can manage that and not be, held back by it, and really identify with it and be the victim of that. That's all for now. Thank you for watching. If you got value out of this video, please hit the like button, the subscribe button, and ding the bell for notifications for when new videos come out. And if I made you think, if I pissed you off in one way, or if you agree with this in one way, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to have discussion and dialogue, and possibly point you in the right direction as to what it is that you can do from a resource standpoint to improve and get better on this. And if you're watching this video and you're 6, 7 years out, maybe more, maybe less, and you're like, man, I really want to just get back to feeling like an athlete and reactivate the athlete inside of me, I've got a free course. It's called the Fitness Playbook. It's everything that I've done over the last 4 years with 300 plus clients so that you can have workouts, recipe books, shopping lists, training videos on how to train like an athlete, think like an athlete, fuel like an athlete, recover like an athlete, so that you can get back to feeling like yourself and ultimately be in a position physically and mentally fit to go and pursue your next mission, your next big purpose in life. And you can click the link, it's gonna be in the description or right here. You can just click that link and download that and access it for free. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. This has been Return of the Athlete, and I'll catch you in the next video.